Hey there, friends. It's the holiday season, and a gleaming tin of nuts sits on your coffee table, promising heart health with every festive crunch. But at 65, I've stumbled on a twist that hit me like a ton of bricks. You thought these nuts were saving your heart, but they might be betraying your joints, your blood sugar, even your kidneys. Not every healthy nut is your friend after 50. Some are like charming guests you invite to dinner, only to find they've slipped trouble into your pantry. Which nuts are sneaking into your pantry today? In this longevity tale, I'm diving deep into 3 groups of nuts that might not be as kind as they seem, backed by real stories, solid science, and practical tips to snack smarter. The American Heart Association says nuts can be heart-friendly, but only if you pick raw or dry roasted ones, not the sugary imposters hiding behind the FDA's Heart Healthy label, AHA, 2020. Stick with me for a journey that could transform your pantry and maybe save you a trip to the doctor. Before we start, a quick note. When I mention portions like 10 almonds or 15 pistachios, I'm talking about 1 ounce roughly 28 grams, or a small handful you can cup in your palm. That's the sweet spot for most nuts. And I'll keep it simple from here. Ready to rethink your snacks? Let's dive in. Let's look at Group 1, nature's tricky nuts. These nuts roll straight out of the earth, looking pure and wholesome, but they pack natural compounds that can challenge your body as you age. Your kidneys, liver, and digestion aren't as spry after 50, and these nuts demand a closer look. First up, bitter almond snot. The sweet ones stacked at Safeway, but a rare type hiding a compound called amygdalin that can turn into cyanide in your system. Sounds like a plot twist from a spy movie, doesn't it? The FDA warns these exceed safe cyanide levels, but they're banned in U.S. stores and only sneak through unregulated online shops. FDA, 2019. My patient June, 68, with her infectious laugh and passion for health fads, fell for wild almonds online, hoping they'd supercharge her detox. Days later, nausea and dizziness hit, and her liver was crying for help. We found a bag of bitter almonds tucked in her kitchen cabinet, labeled as a superfood. Switching to sweet almonds, just 10 to 12 a day, was a game-changer safe, heart-friendly, and a steal at Costco. June now sprinkles them on her morning oatmeal with blueberries for a fiber boost. If your liver's sensitive, check with your doctor before chasing exotic nuts. Medicare covers dietitian visits for chronic conditions like liver issues, so you can get tailored advice at little to no cost. Medicare 2025. Next, cashews, those creamy bites we love in trail mix or party bowls. They're loaded with compounds that can bind calcium and form kidney stones, especially if your kidneys are working overtime. A 2013 study tied these compounds to higher stone risk, particularly with low calcium intake or existing kidney issues. Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology, 2013. Mr. Yamashita, 70, a retired gardener with a love for baseball, munched handfuls of cashews every afternoon while cheering for the Yankees. Sharp back pain landed him a kidney stone diagnosis, and it took months to walk without wincing. Cutting back to 5 or 6 cashews a day turned things around. He pairs them with a glass of milk to balance calcium, cheap, smart move. Another patient, Mrs. Dolores, 73, a former school nurse, grabbed cashews from bulk bins at the grocery store, thinking they were a low-calorie snack. Her kidney scans showed early trouble until we limited her portions and added calcium-rich yogurt to her diet. Peanuts, though, are the sneakiest not nuts, but legumes growing underground, where they can pick up a mold toxin called aflatoxin, linked to liver cancer, IARC, 2002. The FDA keeps aflatoxin below 20 parts per billion in the U.S., but imported or poorly stored peanuts can spell trouble, FDA. Peanuts also pack omega-6 fats, which, without enough omega-3s, can drive joint pain, foggy thinking, or even worsen arthritis in older adults. Simopoulos, 2002. Arthritis Research and Therapy, 2019. Susan, 69. A retired teacher, slathered peanut butter on toast every night, blaming her achy fingers on age. Her inflammation markers were sky high, switching to 10 to 15 boiled peanuts a day cheap, and at every Walmart teased her pain and cleared her head. She tosses them in a spinach salad with grilled salmon for omega-3 balance. Mr. Carter, 72, a former truck driver, grabbed roasted peanuts from gas stations during long hauls, thinking they were better than chips. His liver enzymes crept up until we switched to boiled peanuts from a trusted brand, stored in a cool, dry pantry to avoid mold. Miss Rosa, 67, a church volunteer, loved peanut brittle at community bake sales, believing it was natural. Her blood sugar spikes told a different story. She now sticks to boiled peanuts, 10 to 15 a day, and feels steadier volunteering at Sunday services. If your liver isn't at its best, talk to your doctor before making peanuts a daily habit. Here's a tip. When buying sweet almonds or boiled peanuts, check the label for U.S. grown to ensure tight safety standards and store them in airtight glass jars to keep them fresh. Pair almonds with a handful of berries for a fiber-packed snack or peanuts with a banana for a budget-friendly boost. Want to keep it economical? Buy almonds in bulk at Costco or Sam's Club, where a pound costs less than a fancy coffee. Which nuts are sneaking into your pantry with nature's tricks? Leave me in the comments if you've ever tried an exotic nut that backfired. Let's hear your story. Now let's move to the next group to see if your snacks are true allies or coated in trouble. Let's look at Group 2, the industrially altered snacks. These nuts start out as nature's gifts, but we've loaded them with sugar, salt, and oils that turn them into trouble after 50, when your body doesn't shrug off extras so easily. Picture those honey-roasted jars or keto-friendly labels glowing at Target. They're designed to tempt your taste buds, not nourish your heart. The FDA's heart-healthy label only applies to raw or dry roasted nuts, not these sugary pretenders that can strain your system. FDA 2020. Mr. Alvarez, 75, a retired mechanic with a passion for poker nights, thought he was winning big by swapping candy for honey-roasted pistachios. That heart-healthy label looked like a sure bet, but the sugar coating pushed his blood sugar toward prediabetes, and the canola oil sparked joint pain that kept him from shuffling cards. Switching to raw pistachios, 15 to 20 a day, brought his numbers down, and his face lit up when he could rejoin his poker buddies pain-free. Sugar coatings and industrial oils like canola or soybean turned good nuts into traps that spike blood sugar, tax your joints, and stress your heart. No matter the natural branding. A 2021 study linked added sugars to heart strain in older adults, increasing risks for those over 50. Circulation, 2021. Candied walnuts from Whole Foods might look gourmet, but they're candy in disguise, messing with your insulin and clouding your focus. Holiday mixed nut tins, drenched in cottonseed oil, irritate your gut and liver over time. Dr. Patel's father, 73, a former pharmacist with a love for crossword puzzles, snacked on yogurt-covered almonds, thinking they'd strengthen his bones. His glucose spikes told a different story, and his knees weren't thrilled either. Mrs. Eleanor, 71, a choir director who lit up church services, grabbed caramel-glazed almonds from the local farmer's market, believing artisan meant healthy. Her blood pressure climbed, and her energy tanked until we switched to raw almonds, 10 to 12 a day, getting her back to leading hymns with gusto. Mr. Holmes, 70, a jazz saxophonist, traded cookies for candied walnuts after a mild stroke, hoping to clean up his diet. Those healthy handfuls packed 25 grams of sugar, stalling his recovery. Raw walnuts, 4 to 5 halves a day, had him playing full sets again, his saxophone notes soaring. Mrs. Grace, 69, a retired baker, loved keto-friendly mixed nuts from holiday gift baskets, not realizing the soybean oil was inflaming her gut. Switching to dry roasted almonds, 10 to 12 a day, eased her digestion and her skin glowed again. If it tastes like dessert, it's not your pal. Here's how to stay sharp. Grab raw or dry roasted nuts. Look for dry roasted on the label. Skip anything marked honey, candied, or glazed. Avoid canola, soybean, or cottonseed oils. Choose unsalted or lightly salted with sea salt. And read the ingredients list like a detective. Stick to 15 to 20 pistachios, 4 to 5 walnut halves, or 10 to 12 almonds a day. Store them in a cool pantry to avoid rancid oils. And try mixing walnuts with apple slices or pistachios with a pear for a sweet, healthy crunch. Want to save money? Raw pistachios are affordable at Aldi, and a small bag lasts weeks. If you're managing diabetes or high blood pressure, talk to your doctor. Medicare often covers dietitian visits to personalize your snack plan. Medicare 2025. Got a favorite candied nut stashed away? Let it go. It's not nostalgia, it's sabotage. You're not tossing food, you're freeing your future. What's hiding in that jar? Send a peanut in the comments. If a healthy label ever fooled you, I want to hear your tale. Let's uncover the nuts that build trouble over time. Let's look at Group 3. The silent long-term threats. These nuts don't flash warning signs. They sit quietly in your pantry, looking plain. But over years, they can pile up toxins that burden your kidneys, liver, and nerves. They're the sneakiest, and even doctors can overlook them. Start with sunflower seeds, those salty bites you pop during ball games or road trips. Flavored ones, like barbecue or ranch, can carry tiny amounts of cadmium, a heavy metal that collects in kidneys and bones if you overdo it for years. Paralo et al., 2016. A 2018 study noted cadmium can weaken bones, especially in women over 60, increasing fracture risk. Environmental Health Perspectives, 2018. A handful a few times a week, 2 tablespoons is fine for most, and they're a wallet-friendly snack at any CVS or Dollar General. My patient, a 67-year-old retired military cook, ate them daily for a decade, his recliner surrounded by empty jars. His kidney function started fading, and his doctor was stumped until he spotted those barbecue seeds. Cutting back and drinking more water stabilized his labs, and he now enjoys them twice a week with a kale smoothie to support detox. Mrs. Linda, 74, a retired librarian, munched ranch-flavored sunflower seeds at book club, thinking they were a light snack. Her bone density scans showed early thinning, partly tied to those seeds. She switched to pumpkin seeds, 1 ounce a week, for a magnesium boost, and her scans improved. Mr. Franklin, 71, a former mechanic, ate spicy sunflower seeds during fishing trips. His kidney labs raised flags until we limited them to once a week. Canned chestnuts, those cozy holiday treats we scoop from festive tins, are gentle when fresh but risky when canned. Often laced with sugary syrup or artificial sweeteners that disrupt gut health and blood sugar. Suez et al., 2014. A 2017 study linked these sweeteners to insulin resistance in older adults, especially those with diabetes. Journal of Nutrition, 2017. Mrs. Clara, 78, adored canned chestnuts for memories of winter firesides with her grandparents. Her blood sugar kept spiking, and her digestion was off. Switching to 3 or 4 fresh roasted chestnuts during the season easy to find at Trader Joe's leveled her out, and she felt like a kid again. Mr. Thompson, 69, a retired firefighter, snacked on canned chestnuts year-round, thinking they were a light choice. His gut issues cleared when we went fresh, and he now roasts them at home for holiday gatherings. Mystery-flavored nuts, like wasabi or shrimp-coated mixes from Asian markets or gift baskets, are delicious but can hide dyes, Mississippi G, or stabilizers tied to migraines, rashes, or cell stress. CSPI, 2016. Obayashi and Nagamura, 2016. Bao, 70, ate these hometown snacks during Sunday football games until migraines and rashes hit hard. Ditching them cleared his symptoms. No pills, just awareness. Miss Wynn, 66, a seamstress, got spicy soy-coated nuts from a relative's gift basket. Her restless sleep vanished when we swapped them for plain almonds, 10 to 12 a day. Mrs. Sophia, 72, a former florist, loved wasabi peanuts from a local import store. Her skin flared up until we switched to dry roasted almonds. Here's a pro tip. Buy sunflower seeds or chestnuts in small batches to keep them fresh. And check for no artificial flavors on the label. Try sunflower seeds with carrot sticks or fresh chestnuts with a sprinkle of cinnamon for a cozy, low-cost snack. If you're diabetic or have sensitivities, a dietitian can guide you. Medicare often covers these visits for chronic conditions. Medicare 2025. Which of these silent threats is lurking in your pantry? Toss a walnut emoji in the comments if a nut ever surprised you with trouble. Let's hear your story. Here's the heart of it. Nuts aren't out to get you. They're some of nature's best gifts when you choose them wisely. 5 walnut halves a day fuel your brain with omega-3s for sharper memory, and they're a steal at any grocery store. 10 almonds deliver fiber and vitamin E for your gut and skin. Easy to grab at Safeway or Kroger. Boiled peanuts, 10 to 15 a day. Bring a heart-friendly nutrient like you'd find in red wine, and they're dirt cheap at Walmart or Aldi. The secret is knowing what's been added, checking every ingredient, and asking, would my grandparents know this nut? If the answer's no, it's time to say goodbye. If you're managing diabetes, kidney issues, or liver concerns, consult a specialist to nail down your portions. Medicare may cover a dietitian visit to make it easy. Medicare 2025. Want to keep it simple and save money? Store raw nuts in glass jars in a cool pantry to keep them fresh, and pair almonds with blueberries, walnuts with plain yogurt, or boiled peanuts with a sliced apple for nutrient-packed snacks that won't break the bank. Start small. Swap 1 jar of candied nuts for raw almonds, or try boiling your own peanuts for a fun weekend project. You can find raw nuts in bulk at Costco or Sam's Club, where a pound costs less than a fast food meal. Every choice is a quiet victory for your heart, joints, and brain. Let's do a quick pantry check. Which nuts are sneaking in uninvited? Drop a in the comments to pledge smarter snacking and share your story. What's the weirdest nut you've tried? Or a healthy snack that turned out to be a dud? I read every comment, and your stories keep this community alive. Stay with the longevity tales, where stories meet science and aging becomes an art. Hit subscribe and tap the bell. You'll thank yourself when the next tale lands. And speaking of that, it starts with a pillow and a question. Why do some elders wake at dawn with joy? See you soon, friends. Keep eating wisely and live the life your younger self would cheer for.